let's bring on an amazing another friend. We've got Jamie Leighter. Woo woo! What's up, girl?
Hi. Not much.
Well,
How are you?
good. I am super pumped to share your story tonight and let everybody else hear it. I've seen the behind the scenes, but it'll be so fun to kind of get a recap of 6 months. So, could you bring us back to like before you met me? What was your life like? What were you struggling with?
So I met you in like the end of April, like right when your last 7-day challenge was going on. I think I joined like a day or two into your challenge.
Yeah.
And that was because I found your ad that said, "This is why I hate daycare." And I am a former daycare owner.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so normally I was like, this might be some bait or something. I was like, normally I don't click and read something like that, but I was like, let
Yeah.
me see what this is. And then it actually explained like why you hate daycare is because of not because daycare is bad, but because of like how overworked and underpaid you are. And I was like, yes,
Yeah.
Joy, absolutely. You're you're like literally reading my mind in this post.
Right.
So I clicked on your like free book and it led me to your free challenge. I immediately ordered your free book, immediately started your free challenge. And within like 3 days, I found out that I could switch from daycare to preschool only,
Yeah.
keep my state grant, keep all my pay the same, I kept like most of my students all within like 3 days. And then on the fourth day, I would put in um, my 30-day notice to my daycare families
Yeah.
that were switching to preschool only, and then most of them stayed. Some weren't potty trained, and they potty trained over the summer and came back in the fall.
Nice.
But yeah, everything just happened like boom, 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 super fast.
And you jumped into Preschool All Stars. All of this happened before you even got the book in the
Yeah.
mail, right?
Yep. I was all in. I was like, I don't even know what is in the book yet, but I am in her program.
You like get the book and you're like, we'll just set that aside. I'm already running.
Yeah, we're already going. So
Yeah. Oh, it's awesome. Something I love about you is you are an action taker. Everybody put that in the chat, action taker, because this girl takes action like none other. So every now and then in our All Stars community, there are certain All Stars that just kind of like rise to the top because they're action takers and they just like whip through the guides. I remember you went through the 30-day challenge, which was right after when you joined Preschool All Stars. You just ran right through that, just da, 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 da. Tell us about how so obviously you were really stressed out and things from the daycare world, right? When did you make that shift to find was it 30 days later that you were like, hey, this is the last day of quote daycare?
yeah, it was like I think I started your like 7-day challenge. I put in my notice
Yeah.
and then 30 days later. So it was like less, it was probably like 35 days or something like that,
Yeah.
that I
Oh, that's
switched
awesome.
completely from daycare to preschool.
Right. So you were doing now a summer program then preschool only, right?
Yeah, because it was April. So then May, I finished off in May,
Mhm.
and like June 1st or something was my summer preschool. So
Yeah.
I had a class going by June and July, and then was signing up for people also in the fall for
Yeah.
August.
Yeah. So if you could speak to, we've got a lot of daycare owners in our community where, they want that, Jamie. They're like, I want that so bad. I want to switch, but are so fearful to put out the notice, to go sign up students that they've never signed up before because they've always geared to the working crowd, right? And now they got to find the other people. So, like, could you speak to the fear and how did you walk through that?
Yeah, so first I want to say that when I started my daycare like a year and a half ago, a little over a year and a half ago, I only wanted to do preschool children age before I met you, before I knew how to market. I only wanted that preschool age group.
Mhm.
And then I got scared because everybody was calling me for daycare cuz the daycare parents are so desperate for you, and you're like, you think in your head, you're like, this is all anybody's going to call me for, so I might as well do
Yeah.
daycare. Don't listen. Don't listen to the daycare people.
Right.
Um, if you just wait like a week or two later, all the preschool families will be like, they start catching on, and
Yep.
they will find you, they want you. Um, yeah, so if you are currently doing daycare, it's okay, like, don't be afraid, there are still plenty of families for you that just want preschool,
Yeah.
and, like, my 7 kids in 7 days were all daycare families, like, they were all my current daycare families that I was watching, like, 8 to 12 hours a day, and they all switched to preschool, and I was like, "And now you only want me to watch your kid 3 hours a day, but okay, whatever." So some will figure it out, they'll either,
Mhm.
like, ride they'll, like, get a ride from the other daycare to you to do preschool and back,
Yeah.
or they'll just change their schedule and just do preschool with you, and then
Mhm.
there's plenty of other people in the world. There's, like if you think of the abundance mindset, there's plenty of children in the world that will come
Yes.
looking for you.
Yeah. And of course, we'll teach you how to find them too, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
So now let's speak to so obviously the transition from daycare into preschool, and we had summer camp, and now we're going into marketing mode for the fall to fill up. So tell us how many spots you had that you needed to fill for the fall so you could be full by fall.
I needed 40 spots from, like, June to September. I needed 40 spots,
Yeah.
and I got all 40 spots.
Well, amazing,
Yeah.
first off, but let's talk about how you got the 40 spots, okay? So, I know there was a lot of strategies you did. Could you pinpoint down to, like, the 1 or 2 biggest strategies that you felt moved the needle the most and got the most signups?
Um, Probably I like to go to my local parks and give out goodie bags.
Yeah,
That's kind of like that's what's fun for me and easy for me. I love to do goodie bags, and so I would just like post on Facebook, my neighborhood groups, my mom groups, and just say, "Hey, I'm going to the park," and giving out free goodie bags to all the kids. And
cool.
then when they would come, I would talk to them a little bit about my preschool, or give them a flyer, or give them my card. Um, so that kind of got the ball rolling, and
Mhm.
I did some like the Joys in your face flyers. I did that. I think I did a lot of like Facebook groups. I can't even remember. It felt like those 3 months ago feel like a year ago.
Right? Yep. Well, you super creative, and I love the goodie bags to the park idea. I think a lot of us feel a little bit uncomfortable about speaking to parents face to face, but what I loved about you was you weren't going in with the intention of signing up students. You were going with the intention to just provide value. So,
Yeah.
like, what would a conversation look like there in the park? So, you've got your goodie bags, you've told everybody, "Hey, I'm going to be here." A kid shows up, and now what?
Yeah, so I've actually tried it both ways. I've tried the like making a flyer and walking up to the parent, and that is like it's terrifying when you're like not used to doing that and you're just like, here you go, here's a flyer."
Right.
That's why I like the parkway because I have or the goodie bag way because I have my
Mhm.
table set up with like balloons or something cute with a goodie bag set out. So even though the parents aren't walking up to me, it's the kids. They're like running at me. They're like, "What's this?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh, I'm just a local preschool teacher, just, advertising for my preschool," and that's it. That's all I would say. And
Nice.
then they would go tell their parents, or if, like, a parent was walking by, that's all I would say, and they would like, start to ask me questions and wanna find out
Oh,
more. It was never me like, "Hey, do you know anyone?" or "Do you want preschool?"
mm.
It was just like, "Oh, I'm just advertising for my preschool, that's all."
And then you were waiting for them to now ask you for more info.
Yep.
Gold. I love
Yep.
that. I think that can put a lot of, like, if we can just say that one sentence when somebody comes in or a kid or a parent, they're like, "Oh, what's this?" "Oh, I'm just advertising for my local preschool." If we can just get that one sentence out,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what they say after that because they'll be like, "Cool," and they'll leave, or they'll be like, "Oh, tell me more." And then that's your invitation.
Yep.
Genius, girl.
Yeah.
Love that.
That was like my one line. I was like, "If I can't say anything else, just say, 'I'm a local teacher, I'm advertising,'" and that was it. Like, even if I got nervous, that was all I
Yeah.
said, and then, yeah, it got the conversation started.
Oh, I love that. Perfect. Okay, so you also followed something called perfect sign
Oh,
up
yeah.
formula.
Yes, that one.
Tell everyone why perfect sign up formula that's inside Preschool in a Box, why that is killer, why it helps to convert like 90% of the people who call you.
Yes, perfect sign-up formula is perfect because if you're not a salesperson or you're not comfortable, like, pushing I was like I would people would come do a tour with me, and then I'd be like, "Okay, let me know if you want a spot. See you later." Because I wanted to be, like, easy, not like, "Sign up
Right?
now."
Yep.
But when you follow perfect sign-up formula, it tells you exactly what to say before your tour even starts, so they know what to expect when they get there, like, "We're looking to enroll you at the end," type of thing, like, "Do you
Yep.
wanna enroll or not?" That
Yep.
way, they're not feeling like they're being sold to at the tour. They already
Mhm.
know the p process in their head, so, yeah, that changed lots of my my on-the-spot signups. I was like, "Oh, yeah, okay, that makes sense." Yeah, perfect
Yeah.
sign-up formula is
Well, and
awesome.
did it finally give you the confidence too to go into every tour and just like, "I'm nailing it"?
Yes, yeah, and once you, like, go through it once, you're like, "Okay, this works," and you get more confidence from that, and more
Yep.
confidence. Every time you get someone else, you're like, "Yes, okay, it's working," and you
Yep.
feel better and better about it.
Yeah, I love that. So you have just honestly transformed your entire life in 6 months. So walk me from how life is now. So you were the daycare owner who was spending, all the hours in the daycare, plus the after, before, prep, all the things, not really seeing your family. Now, what's life like now for your family?
Amazing. Yeah, we were working, like, so me and my husband we're running it together because I said I wanna raise my boys at home, and I wanna be with my husband. I don't want us
Mhm.
working. He was working outside the home making good money. I was like, "I don't care about that, like, I just want to see my husband."
Oh,
And, so we brought him home to do the daycare, and we were
yeah.
working, like, 40 to 80 hours. Because if you're working in a daycare and you're open 40, 50 hours, you still have all the cleanup and the prep and the
Yep.
shopping and everything, all the paperwork that
Yep.
goes on. So we were like 80 hours a week and just like so I was too tired to even talk, at the end of the
Mm,
day. And now I'm open less than 30 hours a week, only 4 days a week. I have 3-day weekends every weekend.
nice.
Um, just so much time. Like we're you just have so much more like mental capacity. Like
Mhm.
I wanted to be a teacher because I'm like so creative and I love the kids and I have energy and I wanted to do the the things that we want to do. We want to play the sports and play the games and do the science and have the mental capacity for that and not be too worn out from daycare. And we're doing a trunk or treat this weekend on Saturday, and we had our fall harvest. But if we were still doing daycare, we wouldn't even have the time or the energy to do
Mm,
anything like that. And
yep.
now we can, and it's just so much more value being added to our program because now we're wowing everybody. We're not like exhausted,
Right.
like, it's like people are coming in and, like, they're seeing us on a weekend, they're like, "Oh my gosh, you're so amazing, you do all these wonderful things."
Yeah.
The preschool parents are so much happier than the than the daycare parents were, like, they treat you so much different.
Right.
Yeah, they love preschool parents love you, and they choose you, and they want you. It's different from being needed and
Mhm.
I don't know, when someone's looking for you because they want you and they love you, it's a totally different thing.
Yeah, I love that. And concluding now, so you got 40 students signed up. You transitioned your daycare into a preschool. Life is so much better now. But let me ask you this last thing. We have a lot of women who are working those full time jobs, even possibly a daycare, things like that. And that, like, oh, leaving that to go do something new is terrifying to them. But could you speak to how Preschool All Stars helps you just kind of like keep things in perspective with like, um, it's not all it thankfully it worked out with the money, right? But it's not always about the money. It's also about like your health and
Yes.
like your mental well-being. So like
Yes.
how did the transition and using Preschool All Stars and being in here, how did that help you with that? That can also help them.
Yeah. Um, I just have learned so much from you, Joy, in the last 6 months. And like you said, it completely changed my life, and it's because of Preschool All Stars and the hub and, Phoenix Journey, everything we've done. Um, it just cleared up my mind and, it's not always about the money, like how I
Mhm.
said before, where my husband was making good money, but we weren't happy, But
Yeah.
now we are actually making more than he was. Like, even in his high-paying job, we are making
Yeah.
more preschool only working 4 days a week. We are making more money than he was at his job and the
Amazing.
daycare.
Yep.
So and and we have the life we want, you know?
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't
that's
know what else to say, like,
awesome.
there's nothing else I could ask for, like, you've answered, like, all of my prayers.
Oh, appreciate you. So if someone is on the fence, and not really knowing, like, how much can I really change in 6 months? I don't know about this. In conclusion, what would you say to them?
Oh, man, like, you have no idea what you can change in 6 months, you have no idea, and just I know it's scary and it's, like, kind of daunting, but, like, Joy has you. Like, she literally has your back, and she makes you feel so special and so seen, and she answers every single question you could possibly have, and I think about wait if I would have waited 6 months ago, I if I don't know where I would be right now.
Wow.
Like,
Yeah.
I could have shut down, I could have, been burnt out, and instead I am, like, thriving. Like, you can't afford not to change your life. Like, this is your life we're talking about. Like, your life in your hands. Put your life in your hands and take control, and everything could change in a week, let alone
Mhm.
6 months.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, Jamie, we are so proud of you. Keep rocking your preschool, and we'll talk to you another time. All right.
Thank you. See ya.
All right, friend. We'll see you. So, if you would like to have that kind of an experience, changing your life in not only a week, but especially in 6 months, being more, spending more time with your family, having less stress in your life, and honestly, more money sounds really good, doesn't it? But it's actually truly possible. Jamie and many of our other preschool all stars prove it's possible. So, go to preschoolallstars.com to jump in. You do not want to miss this opportunity, and we would love to continue serving you there.